Like romantic love.
Romantic love. Let's say romantic love.
I have one or two areas of apparent expertise in my life. Romantic love, definitely not one of them.
So like lions versus bears.
I'm good.
Animal combat.
I'm good.
Pretty good at. And then different grappling arts, judo, sambo, jiu-jitsu,
Decent.
wrestling, for MMA, so fighting and so on.
Romantic love.
You don't see them as similar? It's a kind of fight. It's a kind of dance. By the way, do you
there's a there's a sense in which I'm kind of glad I'm not an expert on that. Imagine what it would be to be an expert on romantic love. You would take the one thing in life that's actually interesting and make it boring, because once you develop an expertise about something, you can start to predict how things are going to unfold. You get answers before events even occur. You can read into the future of everything. I think there are certain parts of human life where you want to be a beginner at all times, and you don't want to gain expertise.
So excellence and systematizing something in order to achieve excellence might destroy the very magic of the thing.
Yes, and I think that the magic of romantic love is the fact that we're all beginners at it. And the minute you try to gain expertise in it, what does that even mean? Like, what would it mean? And would it be good? I don't think it would. I think you're better off just having fun with it and plowing through and making dumb mistakes and looking like a fool, and then whatever success, whatever that means, comes in a kind of lighthearted, frivolous kind of way, and that, I think, is over the course of a lifetime far more desirable than having expertise in affairs of love. So I don't think it's even a good thing to study too much. And I think if you did, you would actually take something good out of your life.
Yeah, there's communities of people called pickup artists that try to optimize this particular aspect, which is of dating, of guys picking up girls and turning that into a system and seeing what's the most successful.
I think that would be, maybe the first few months would be good, and then after that, I think it would be a disaster.
Yeah.
Given that humans are fairly easy to study from the standpoint of psychology, I'm sure it's not that difficult to gain expertise in things like picking people up. The same way advertisers can pick up your attention to sell a product, you can do the same thing, presumably, with romance and sex. But I don't know. I feel like if you became very good at it, you would end up being very disappointed by the results. And so, as I said, I think there's some things in life where it's better to be a beginner.
And this is one of those.
Yeah.
Enjoy the chaos, the push and pull of being a beginner, and make that a lifelong journey. That's really inspiring to hear you say that. And there's a deep truth to that.
That also justifies the fact that I suck at it.
I think it also justifies, and it would sell very well, that John Danaher should write a book on dating. And that would be chapter 1, Embrace Being a Beginner.
Chapter 2 will be Bear versus Lion.
Pivot quickly to violence.
By the way, we totally skipped over Anaconda.
I assumed the implied...
I'll put it to you this way. On video, you can watch Puma.
Yeah.
And similar sized cats, jaguar, destroy anacondas.
Oh, no.
Even in water, which is the anaconda's preferred domain. So given that puma and jaguar are several orders below lion, you have to go with the idea that lion would utterly decimate anaconda. So it's probably good that we did skip over it.
And I think going back to the original thought that you had about this, don't trust your first instinct.
Also think about the other elements. An anaconda has no ability to disengage from the fight. Once the fight's on, it's got to go until the end. It has no ability to disengage and get away. Its only hope would be ambush, and it's got a tiny, tiny chance against a truly formidable animal. And the fact that if we look at actual concrete real world results, when puma and jaguar are kicking your ass, lion and bear, it's going to be a lot worse.
Science is not to be found on YouTube, or rather, YouTube is not science. I bet you there's a bear somewhere in Canada that has seen some shit. I'm just going to leave it at that. You're a fan of knives. There's guys like Miyamoto Musashi who, instead of doing who's number one type of tournaments, when both competitors walk away, only one competitor walks away. Miyamoto Musashi is known for somebody having John Danaher-like philosophical skills, but also is known for having fought 61 duels to the death and won them.
Incredible.
Obviously. What do you think made him so good?
I don't feel qualified to talk about him because I haven't made an in-depth study of his life and times. And we also don't know how much truth there is to his recollections. And there's a lot of controversy over this. So I don't feel like you can give a definitive statement of, certainly I can't give a definitive statement of his prowess. But his writings are fascinating and deeply insightful. But as to what actually happened out there in his duels, it's unclear.
But there is, with guys like that, you almost certainly know that they were people like the character he projects that have existed.
Yes.
Whether it's 61, whether it's 20, but people really put their life on the line in a different time in human history. Is there something compelling to you about fighting to the death?
I think it's not just compelling to me, but to anyone. I mean, there's nothing we value more than our lives, and to be able to say I'm prepared to die for a sense of honor, things that are so foreign to our modern society. Imagine, we criticize people for something as simple as like road rage, and yet you can imagine someone who has a sufficiently developed sense of honor. If you took them out of the 17th century and put them in a modern car, they might be killing people on the side of the road on a regular basis, just over smallest acts of honor. To say that your sense of self overwhelms your sense of self-preservation, it's a very unusual thing in the modern age, and yet it appears to have been quite common back then. Welcome to Mastering the Move, the ankle lock. Any discussion of the general leg lock revolution would be remiss without a detailed study of the ankle lock. For most students of Jiu-Jitsu, the ankle lock is the first leg lock that they encounter in their learning journey. It is a powerful and high percentage technique that can reliably win matches at all levels. This video will break ankle locking into 3 core skills to begin with. First, getting to an efficient and devastating upper body grip on the foot. Second, using ashigarami, leg entanglements to effectively pin and control the opponent's hip or knee. Third, you will learn how to overcome intelligent resistance from a skilled opponent. Let's get started then with your ankle lock journey, and I'm sure that soon you'll be having similar success.